Hello, I'm Ed Green. I'm Chief Executive of Warwickshire Wildlife Trust, and I'm talking about nature schools today because Warwickshire Wildlife Trust is leading an initiative on behalf of all the wildlife trusts to open 4 free schools in Warwickshire, Birmingham, Devon and Wiltshire.
What is a nature school?
A nature school is pretty much like any other school. It's going to be opened under the government's free school programme, but it is a school that is going to use its natural setting, its outdoor environment, as much as its classrooms to teach its children.
Why nature schools and why are the wildlife trusts involved?
Well, after 20 years of working with school children at primary schools, the Wildlife Trusts have built up a body of evidence and practical experience that shows just how beneficial it is to a child's education to learn outdoors. And we see that and the need that the country has for lots of new schools as an opportunity to mainstream those benefits.
How will nature schools cover teaching? Will you use the national curriculum?
Detailed curriculum planning will take place at a later stage. However, our intention right now is to use the national curriculum, but just to deliver it in a slightly different way and to teach more of it outdoors using a school's and children's own local environment than is standard practice at the moment.
What will a typical day be like at a nature school?
Well, a lot more of it will be spent outdoors than is customary practice. Children will be going out learning their academic studies in a setting whatever the setting of their local natural environment.
How will a nature school teach history?
Well, a teacher could take their children out and try and find the oldest tree in their neighbourhood. That could be an oak tree that's 200 years old. They could measure its height and its circumference and work out just how old it is, and then they could connect the age of that tree to various historical events that have happened in their local communities. They could then collect an acorn, if it was an oak tree, plant it and try and predict what might happen for 200 years in the future. That is using the local environment to teach history and a community's role in local history.
Will you run a breakfast club and after school clubs?
It remains to be seen, but we will need to deliver what is called in our educational jargon enhancement activities, and so I'm sure there'd be some sort of after school clubs of all sorts of types.
Where will the nature schools be located and why these locations?
Well, we're looking at doing it in 4 counties. We do have a plan to open up nature schools around the country, but for the moment we're looking at opening them in Warwickshire, Birmingham, Devon and Wiltshire. And within those 4 counties, they're going to be located in the localities, in the communities that have most need for a new school. And an important part of identifying where those places are to ask local authorities where they most need new schools.
How will nature schools improve teaching? Is there evidence for or against this?
There's a lot of evidence for it. It's important for me to stress that nature schools, it's just a different approach to children's education. It's not a silver bullet that's just going to solve every issue that we have in the United Kingdom around education, but it's something that can make a very important contribution. So the evidence points in general to the fact when you teach children outdoors, a lot of the behaviours that inhibit children's learnings are lessened, and so children that have those issues most acutely learn better than they do in the classroom. But there's still going to be a role for indoor learning.
What kind of building will you use for your nature schools?
That's impossible to say at this stage because if our schools get approved, they're approved on paper. And the Department for Education then go out and provide a building for us. Now that is entirely their responsibility. It could be an old building that is renovated and brought into new use as a school, or it could be an entirely built school as well. We just don't know at this stage, and that is a decision for the Department for Education, not for us.
My little boy's already in year 1. Will he be able to transfer to your nature school when it opens?
Well, it depends if it opens with a year 1 form. It's almost certainly going to open with reception foundation. If a school opens with a year 1 entry, then yes, but it's by no means guaranteed.
I love the sound of a nature school. How do I sign up?
Well, go online is the easiest way to our website, natureschools.org.uk. There you'll find all of our evidence, more information and pages on the 4 schools that we're looking to open up in Devon, Birmingham, Wiltshire and Warwickshire.